Yo boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing the good old sub rogue. Now I only have a few clips here because that's literally all I've really played. But they're pretty long games, and these are pretty much the games that you guys don't really get to see because they're just so, they take a very long time to win. And keep this in mind, we are very low rated. So we ended up getting all the way up to like 1800 MMR pretty much, but all the way up, it was definitely not easy games. And the ones that you guys usually see are the easy ones. At this point, I still have my targeter thing on where it's targeting pets as well sometimes. So, there's that. But this is pretty much how sub rogue is when you don't face people that don't like when they actually click buttons. These are the games that you're gonna get. And I'm still running the same build. I'm not using sepsis or flag or anything like that. This is just a regular build that Naj runs on his rogue. He doesn't run it on Naj, but he runs it on Larm. It's one of his other rogues. So, and honestly, I prefer this build over the other ones mainly because you don't have to worry about that extra cooldown, and it feels more like original sub rogue. Now, obviously, your main damage is still secret tag. That's kind of like a no-brainer. But on top of that, you're just every sub rogue in the game right now requires you to basically rupture pad. If you're looking to do damage as a sub rogue and not spam rupture, it's not gonna happen. Your top damage should be like overall rupture, because you'll see that it does a lot of damage over time, and during your burst it's not bad. But this is pretty much how sub rogue is right now. You're literally do exactly what I'm doing, and this is how you win games. It's very basic. It's not like anything special. You kidney shot the healer. Again, another gear situation. If I had those extra enchants, if I had the extra gear that I needed, that guy would have been dead. And there's certain spots like that where it can be good. So here I blind them. Unfortunately, we can't sap. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. So if my guy could have got a hex off that, it would have been game winning, but I couldn't sap, so that's unlucky. So here we get a Smoky B. So this guy still hasn't even been able to top this guy yet. If he finally clicks swap, we kidney him. Here I swap him. You think he would die, to be honest, but as you can see, he literally lives again. Another situation where they live at 2%, which ends up happening a lot. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, you're pretty much just using Vanish offensively to reset, because you're running CDR with this build. And keep your ruptures up. Kidney shot the healer. As you can see, they're both still dead. This guy is yet to just top them off yet. And then overall, my rupture damage is pretty much going to carry throughout the game. You want to usually have it on both people. So, like as you can see, now we're putting it on both because you're not really doing, blinding and a saps. You want to when you can, but like you're not really able to blind sap anymore unless they're already out of combat, unless you preemptively stun them. So anytime I'm gonna blind, I usually do it off a cheap shot or off a kidney shot. As you can see, my guy's close to dying here, so we just throw out the kidney, throw out the DR cheap shot, so my guy has enough time to recover. Had I not done that, he probably would have been toaster oven. But at this point, we just shadowy duel, we cloak offensively, so he can't trap me, and he gets taken out. Pretty much our game-winning shadowy duel there finally came out to play. Again, that was like a 1500 game or something. Uh, Another example of there's just some comps that you don't beat, and this will be one of those comps that you don't beat. So, we pop all of our cooldowns. Unfortunately, he actually was able to hold on all of my blades and everything, which is really bad for us because, like, again, you want to be trading cooldowns pretty much, constantly. Like, every time you do a go like that, especially with blades, you want to trade a cooldown, and that's just a situation where I just didn't have the crits, I didn't have the damage that was needed. But here we end up getting double trinket regardless, which is really bad on them. But again, when you're playing an HPL versus a rogue, it's like the best feeling in the world when it's not an assassination rogue. Even if it's an assass, it still feels like the best because you're able to just bop Deathmark. And that's pretty much all their burst damage. So, like, you're pretty much chilling. But this is pretty much all you're doing the entire game. You're just rupture padding, kidney off DR, and in this clip here, I don't have my Gladius fixed, but because these are from the same day that I queued my other Rogue Shaman games. So we're still running at literally just really no DR, so I have no idea when the DRs are off. This is pretty much just me being like, okay, well, if I get lucky, I'll be able to see them. Otherwise, I'm just YOLO, you know, in my head believing that it's off when it might not even be off. But that's pretty much that. But yeah, these are the games that you guys don't really see, and I ended up wanting to post them because I had enough to like make it a 14-minute video. So I was like, well, might as well. So here I cloak here, we kidney shot, we do another setup again, situation where it was probably a second off. Most likely it was probably like a second, maybe 2 seconds off of being off DR. Again, it's whatever. It's not like we were gonna kill there or anything. This is pretty much just a trial and error type of spec. You kind of just open. He knocks him out of my bomb like a god, which actually doesn't really matter much because it's not like I had much damage in the first place. Again, without blades, you're not really gonna do much. So, that's pretty much that. Again, another situation where this guy literally just ran around in a circle on his dragon. And I'm pretty sure I also had that thing on him. Again, I didn't know this, or technically I knew it, but I never experienced it. So when you Shadow Strike with this build, it puts on like a, I don't know what it's like a purple ability, and it doesn't break on blind. So you'll see there's 3 stacks of it, and right now there's, 1. Every time you eviscerate, the stack goes off, I'm pretty sure. But it'll break your blinds or any type of CC in the game, and it really does suck. The fact that it doesn't completely reset it or like just take it off is just mind-blowing. But yeah, you definitely have to be aware of, stuff like that happening, because it will happen pretty frequently. So here we do a Shadowy Duel, he trinkets, which is, he probably didn't have to be honest, but again, we're kind of getting up and damp, so I can see why he did it. And it's Shadowy Duel. Thankfully, with Evoker right now, and I did see the buffs and nerfs. So apparently, H-Pow is getting a massive buff tomorrow. Arcane Mage getting a massive buff. Fire Mage getting a pretty good buff as well. DH 10% on almost every cooldown. Did I see anything else? Holy Priest, Mistweaver's getting a pretty good buff. So like a lot of things are getting buffed. So it'll be nice to see some other variety. But yeah, still double DPS is pretty much a no-go. If you're not playing Rogue Mage, I wouldn't bother queuing double DPS. It's literally not possible. It's why I haven't been posting any clay. I literally tried to do boosting, and it's literally impossible. It's not possible to win these games. Like, we die too quick. So pretty much, you pretty much have to win in the opener as double DPS, and imagine doing that in this type of meta where they have 9 different cooldowns you have to go through. And on top of that, I'm a pad build, and again, another situation where my purple ability ends up, and it's just the most annoying thing that I had to deal with, because, like, during this, I was like, bro, why is this breaking? But that's why it breaks. So you pretty much have to pay attention to it. At the time, I wasn't paying attention to it, but, now that now that I've been playing, I have been. So that's pretty much that. Again, all I've been doing is leveling my characters. I've literally leveled like 6 level 80s so far, and that's literally all I've been doing. I haven't done any PvP. If you look at my record on my rogue, on this rogue specifically, I'm probably almost negative. That's how bad it is. Because all I've done is boost, and it's almost become to this point where it's like, okay, I can't do it. It's not possible to do it. The only spec that I can carry is a healer, and even that at 1600 CR is literally these type of games. This is a frequent game. This is a normal game for me right here. So they're not, by no means are they easy at all. Like, these are very long games. I mean, it's not like they're playing, insane or nothing, but at the same time, it's not like they're playing bad. Like, this is week 3 now, and these guys are still pretty good for a 1600 team. So it's like, holy. Thankfully, we actually lose this game, and this is the example of what happens when, people know how to, do anything in life. So here, this guy Blade Storms, I kidney shot him, we start pumping on the warrior here. And this is where, yeah, this is how this kind of ends up going. So, this is what happens when you face a plate that doesn't sit there and not click a single cooldown. So we still have used every button. We've done our CC chain. We've done Shadowy Duel. And he's 100% HP. So at this point, we just did our full burst rotation, and I don't think we got a single cooldown right there. So that's kind of just how that goes, and that's like the benefits of being assassination at that point is having that extra consistency to be able to kill stuff. So, that's kind of why you don't see any sub rogues in twos, because I mean that's kind of for obvious reasons to be honest. But my guy gets a really good hex off my blind, so he trinkets my blind into a hex, which was nice. Again, not really that relevant because I didn't have any damage. So at the end of the day, it was like it's great, but yeah, it's not looking too great. So um, I'm trying to commentate this, but it's so hard to commentate when nothing's happening in the game. There's like it doesn't even look like even watching it now, it doesn't even feel like there's a win-loss ratio for like it feels like no matter who I go, it's not gonna matter really much. I can't kill an H-Pal until they're 80% damp and I've gotten every cooldown. Am I gonna kill a warrior? Probably not. So, that's just unlucky. But yeah, this is pretty much these are my normal games. So again, you guys want me to play this, but this is literally an average 1600 game. This is 1600 CR. And you guys are like, bro, why don't you play Rogue? Why don't you show content? Do you guys really want to, like, it? Not only is it miserable playing this, because it is, it's boring, because there's no benefit to playing this. We get nothing by queuing at this rating. There's nothing. I've already got my 2 set, and pretty much everything. I mean, I haven't got my gear overall, but I can't even sell boost because it's just not possible. Like when you're gaining 10 rating and then you're losing 8 or 9 of that rating the one loss, you have to go 3-0 in order to get anything significant, which is like 20 rating. So, uh, that's kind of just how that goes. So I don't know when's the next time I'm gonna be doing content because again, I've played like 3 queue sessions so far is what I've queued, and it's been worse every time I queue. So this is the arena POV. And then, by the way, just so you guys know this, in solo blitz, if you don't accept the queue, it'll automatically count you as a DC. That's another situation. My blind broke again because of my thing. So I was wondering why my blind kept break. I thought it was my teammate doing it the entire time, which I didn't care because I knew there was no win rate for us. But um, that's pretty much now I know why. Like, or I've kind of known why, but I'm just saying in the video. But yeah, in solo blitz, if you basically don't accept the queue, so if you queue up like, and in solo shuffle when you're AFK and you queue and you miss the queue, well that counts as a DC. So keep this in mind because my friend Will, the Pharaoh dude that I was queuing with at the very start, um, yeah, he ended up queuing it up, and then he went to the bathroom, came back, and it took 200 rating off of his, off. So, yeah, it does count as a DC if you miss the queue. So if you don't know that, now you do, and that is a fact. It will take rating off if you miss the queue. And that is the most dumb, delusional thing in life, but it's Blizzard. You can't really expect them to have the IQ of 5. Like myself, we are both low IQ minded, so I'm not. That's just how that goes. But yeah, this is pretty much the content that you guys have been wanting to watch. This is all. This is the best. This is me winning these games too, and it doesn't even feel like you win. Now this one's not a win because it's the last one I had, but this is it. Unless you face a hunter or something that can actually die, this is your arena right here as a rogue. And there's a reason you don't see much rogues unless they're assassination, because this right here. So this is pretty much the content that you guys have all been waiting for. And this is why I don't really plan on playing my rogue for a very long time, because it sucks. It really does. It's trash. I think if you're not playing rogue mage, don't Q2s. That's how or maybe like rogue priest, it works.